Guys, you may have seen us do our worst transfers in Arsenal and Chelsea's history. Well, today we are going to discuss the best transfers in Arsenal and Chelsea's Premier League history. You're with your boy NJ, and I am joined by our resident Chelsea fan, Marky Mark. How we doing, my man?
People? I'm good. Let's go. Let's get into this one. And I already know what I'm going to say. It's clear cut.
Okay. So we're doing the top three. We're going in reverse order, guys. So we've each selected 3 transfers from our clubs, and we're going to start off by talking about number 3. So number 3, Mark. Is this a technical error?
Why?
Have you gone Drogba, number 3? You know this is in reverse order, yeah? This shouldn't be number 1.
I know.
What are you doing? You gone Drogba, number 3. Okay, cool. Look, it's your list.
He's not going to be my number 1, is he?
Why not? Why is he on number 3?
Why. You'll see why. Make sure you stay tuned. Number 3 for me is Didier Drogba. The greatest, well, in my time of watching football and watching Chelsea, the greatest Chelsea striker, number 9, there is. In fact, in the last 20 years, probably since 2000, it's debatable. There isn't any other striker in the Premier League that I would have over Didier Drogba. Scores the most important. I don't know any player across the Premier League since 2000 that has scored more important goals, more vital goals, more cup-winning goals, more league-winning goals for Chelsea as a striker. He is the best striker, period, since 2000. Please, I'm going to let you interject. Am I wrong first before I carry on?
Let me have a think. So you're saying from 2000 till now. So we can go through the strikers. So you've got Aguero, Kane, Torres, Vieira, Henry, Rooney.
Henry. Okay, right.
But I know what you mean, because Henry wasn't an out-and-out number 9. I used to drift, right? Like, you're basically talking about your...
He's a 9. He's a 9 in my eyes.
Out-and-out number 9. Okay, so you're saying he's better than Henry?
I'm saying that I would have him. He's had more of an impact than Henry, right? He's won more titles than Henry. Yes, Henry has more individual accolades than him. He's got more golden boots and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And he may actually have more goals, but are they more important goals? I don't think so. I definitely disagree.
Well, overall, I think Chelsea were a better team, though. Chelsea a better team, though. That's also got to get taken into account, right?
You have to bring that into context, yes.
So,
but the fact is...
I mean, he's up there. He's definitely in the conversation, but off the top of my head, you've got Harry Kane, Torres, you've got
He hasn't done anything.
All these
Hold
guys.
on, let's break it down.
No. I'm listing names. I'm not saying that. I'm just listing names. I'm saying other strikers out there. Who have we got? I'm not saying they're better than Drogba. What I am saying is these are the names he's competing against, right? So you've got your Torreses, you've got your... Aguero's, Harry Kane, Wayne Rooney, Thierry Henry. Who else
Haaland.
Am I missing?
Haaland,
yes. And Van Persie. Who else is...
Get out of here, bro. You're just mentioning random strikers. Bro,
that's what I'm doing, though, bro.
They're not even in the same league. They're not even the same stratosphere as Didier. They haven't done... And none of these players...
But these are his peers. This is who you're comparing him against. And
Suarez.
I'm
asking you.
I'm
a massive fan of Suarez. Get out of here. I'm a massive fan of Suarez.
Was he 2000 onwards?
Okay. No. Look, I'm asking you directly, yeah? Just give it to me, yeah? Since 2000, would you have another striker instead of Didier Drogba?
Yes, off the top of my head, I think so.
Who?
I think I would. And I'll tell you why. There's a few, actually, I'd probably have. I am a big fan of Didier Drogba, and he scored very, very important goals for you. But if we're talking about Premier League transfers and Premier League history, we're talking Premier League, right? And for me, he didn't score enough Premier League goals. So for that reason alone, he scored big goals, don't get me wrong. And if we're going to talk cup finals, that's when he goes into his league of his own. Like, there's no one better than Drogba, as we've discussed before. But for me, as a number 9 in my Premier League team, especially when you've got the Chelsea sides, the really, really good Chelsea sides that you've had over the years, I'd want more goals from my number 9 personally. Yeah, I'd have quite a few. I'd have Wazza over him. I'd have Thierry. I need goals from my number 9. And
he
Drogba,
scores goals, bro. He scored.
He's
Okay,
got the least out of all of them. I think he's got less than Aguero, less than Wayne Rooney, less than Harry Kane, less than Thierry Henry. I think he's got less than Van Persie, believe it or not. He's got,
Okay.
I think, 100 Premier League goals just there or thereabouts. He's got less than Lampard, obviously. I mean, Lampard's got tons, but yeah, I don't know. I think Drogba
That is
is an
crazy
absolute
for me.
beast.
That's crazy.
I'd love him. I'd love him in my team. Don't get me wrong.
That's
but if
crazy.
you're saying out and out striker, like who would I rather have? Well, I'd rather have the more prolific ones, wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I?
What, the ones that can't win in the big occasions, that don't take the team across the line, that don't win the cups, the Champions Leagues, bro. The vital goals, bro. You can get loads
Premier
of
League, no? We're talking Premier League.
I thought we were doing.
You said since 2000. Has there been a better Premier League striker since 2000 than Drogba? I mean, yeah, Aguero,
yeah, that's
2012.
Right.
There's no bigger goal for a Premier League
No.
from a Premier League standpoint than Aguero's goal.
Yeah, I mean that's one goal. I'll accept that. I'll take that, bro. Look, maybe I'm sounding biased, bro. But in my head,
he's a great player,
bro.
We're talking about
The occasion. He's
one
the
of
man for the
greats.
occasions. Yeah, bro.
He
Yes,
is.
but I mean, it's all subjective. It's all debatable. For me, he is the greatest striker in Premier since 2000. He has been the best striker, and that for me is period. You mentioned all this Wazza and all this Tazza and Jiv, all these other great players, but bro, no. Anyways, agree to disagree. That's fine. Right.
Okay. Fine.
You're number 3.
Before I go into number 3, I just want to say that I was shocked when you had it at number 3, and the reason why I feel like I should explain my shock is that I wasn't joking. I was half tongue in cheek, but really I'm actually being serious, because when we talk about Chelsea transfers as a whole, he is the sole reason that you won your first Champions League.
No.
I could even make a case.
No.
Well, he's the main reason. He's not the sole reason. He's the main reason. I mean, you were done against Munich. Muller came off in the 89th minute and he was celebrating. They were already celebrating. And then Didier, the man, cometh the man, cometh the hour, cometh the man. The man stepped up, scored, took it to extra time, and then scored the winning penalty. He's the main reason you won that day and that night in
Remember this. This is one game. Remember this. This is one game. Remember this. And then you'll see why my second and my first is why they're my second and my first.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. Okay.
That's fine.
Right.
All right. Okay. I'm going to give you my number 3. I found this list quite easy, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't so easy. I think yours is tougher for me to pick.
Yeah.
I've gone Big Sol Campbell, personal favourite transfer of mine. I love this. He's got to be in my top 3 because we obviously got him from Spurs, which is brilliant. We got him on a free. And Sol Campbell, for me, is the centre-back who gets forgotten when we talk about great centre-backs. When we talk about the best of the best centre-backs in the Premier League, you've got your Rios, you've got your Vidiches, you've got your John Terrys, you've even got your Carvalhos, right? You've got so many that get mentioned, and now you've got Virgil van Dijk. For me, Sol's the forgotten man that is in that conversation. Now, he's not top of the pile, don't get me wrong, but he was so damn good, so pivotal for us in winning those 2 league titles in 3 years. And we almost won 3 in 3 years. And he was a big part of that, man. He was an absolute beast in our defence. We got him for free. He goes straight in the number 3 slot for me. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I would love to see like your master list of players of how you've narrowed this down. I mean, fair enough. I mean, you watch your club more than, well, obviously than I do. You make obviously the points you've made, they're facts. But to say that it is a nice twist that he comes from your absolute direct rivals, which is Spurs. That is tongue in cheek. Fair enough, man. Really?
You know what it
3
is, Mark?
though? Out of all the
number
transfers,
3.
Sol Campbell.
You know why? Yeah, you know why? Because also I took into account the fact that he was free. So when we talk about best Premier League transfers,
yes,
we picked him up for free. I mean, that in itself puts him in my top 3. There are names that are not going to be in my list, and you'll be like, what? They're better than Sol Campbell. Yeah, they are better than Sol Campbell, but the fact they came in as a free and we really needed him, and he was our best defender during that era. And obviously when we went invincible, he's part of the Invincibles team. So for me, there's no question. If you take all of it into account, he's straight in. All right. Now we're going into your runners-up spot. So your second best ever Premier League transfer, or rather Chelsea transfer in Premier League history. You've gone Frank Lampard. Talk to me.
There was always this debate of who's the best midfielder in the Premier League history. Is it Scholes? Who is it? Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard. And now, of course, you have to throw in the King Kev himself, De Bruyne. He has to be in that conversation. But we're talking specifically about Chelsea's transfers. For me, the greatest attacking midfielder in Chelsea's history, or definitely since the year 2000, when he signed from West Ham. Even for West Ham, he was banging in goals. But when he came to Chelsea, he just looked so good and he fitted blue so well. He's the highest scoring midfielder in Premier League history. He's the greatest box-to-box midfielder in Premier League history. Box-to-box scoring midfielder before you come in and start interjecting with right? This is facts. The geezer was getting 20 goals per season as a midfielder. He scored more goals than Diddles himself. And Diddles was a striker. He was vital to winning all of our cups, all of our leagues, all of the Champions Leagues. We wouldn't have done any. I could even go as far as to say we wouldn't be able to done any of it without Frank Lampard. He was so good. Jose Mourinho goes, who's the number one name on the list? Frank Lampard. Someone who hardly ever gets injured. That's super reliable. And I like the definition. You can refer him to Ronaldo type in the way that he may not be as talented or as gifted as Scholes, or as definitely Gerrard, but when you practice and you master your craft, just like Ronaldo, you become the best. And he is, like Ronaldo, a perfect example of that. Chelsea would not have won the things they did not win without the great Super Frank. And that's why he's my number 2, mama.
Here. Everything that you said there, spot on. I've got a soft spot for Frank because he's the ultimate professional, as you said. You could have him number 1, number 2. I don't think any fans, Chelsea or otherwise, would argue with that, right?
Yeah.
Frank is an absolute beast. And, you know, we talk about, okay, Gerrard being the most complete midfielder of all time, Scholes having the vision. The hardest thing to do is put the ball in the net. And guess what? Frank did. I'll tell you something. Whilst you were... Whilst you were saying what you were saying and explaining Frank, I've got the list of all-time Premier League goal scorers here. Yeah, you've got number 1. You've got Big Alan Shearer. Yeah, 260 goals. Number 2, Harry Kane, 213. Number 3, Wazza, 208. Number 4, Andy Cole, 187. Just behind him is Salah in number 5, 186. Aguero, 184. That's number 6. Number 7, Frank Lampard, 177 goals. This guy is the only midfielder out of the top 30 is on this list, and he's number 7. He's got more goals. I know he's there longer than Henry, but he's got more goals than Henry. He's got more goals than Fowler. He's got more goals than Defoe. He's got more goals than Torres, more goals than Van Persie, more goals than name any other striker. It is insane that we talk about Frank Lampard as a midfielder when his numbers are better than every striker in Premier League history bar 6. Every striker in Premier League. The Premier League's been going since 1992, Mark, yeah? 34 years. In that time, he is number 7 in the all-time goal-scoring list. That is why no one can argue about and Lampard being on this list, even if he cost you 3 times what he cost you. And by the way, just for context, you paid 11 million for him, pre-Abramovich. So you paid 11 million for him. I mean, the guy's just a legend. I won't ever badmouth Frank Lampard because he's the ultimate professional. And, you know, as a rival fan or whatever else, sometimes you just got to put things to one side and just laud the players for who they are and what they are. And Frank Lampard, for me, is a top man.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Fair play.
Okay, so number 2 on your list is Frank Lampard, and going from one midfielder to another, the number 2 best ever Premier League transfer for Arsenal in our history, Big Paddy, Patrick Vieira.
There you go.
This guy, we talk about the great central midfielders, this man was our leader, legend after Big Tony Adams. He had big boots to fill, and boy, did he fill them. 3 Premier League titles he won, 4 FA Cups at us, and obviously in amongst that, he won a World Cup as well. So, and the Euros for France. The guy, but we're talking just Arsenal, the guy came over to us. He was raw, he was young, but he was such a good midfielder. For me, when they talk about Vieira versus Keane, I always went Vieira because I felt, bias aside, I felt he's the more complete player. I think Keane obviously won more head-to-heads against us, and United ended up doing us. But during that period of time, it was very tough to pick between Vieira and Keane. I think prime Vieira for me just edges it. He was such a baller, and you see other players talk about him, even great players. Who was it? I think Lampard himself actually mentioned, because he was a bit younger when he was coming through. He's like, Vieira, he'd just take it over my head. He was so big, so strong. He would just kick it over my head. I wouldn't even be able to touch the ball. That's coming from Frank Lampard. So you know this guy's a serious deal. And our captain during our most successful period, the Invincibles team, he was our captain. He was undeniably excellent. And we got him all for 3.5 million. Absolute steal. Got to be number 2 on my list.
Massive, massive fan of Patrick Vieira. And going head-to-head with Roy Keane, there's always this comparison. For me, it has always been Patrick Vieira. And that's not to disrespect Roy Keane at all, because he is on his level. But I do think that Patrick Vieira, bro, when you think of that Invincibles, that early 2000s, you think of 2 names, really. Vieira. In fact, I don't know why Vieira comes before Henry. You just hear Vieira. Right, because he was that guy in the middle, a super complete player. He used to push. His battles with Roy Keane, epic. He used to push players off the ball. He used to drive through box to box, Yaya Toure style. He has the best components and the best attributes from pretty much most of the best midfielders, making one of the most complete midfielders that you can get. I think you can put him and he will slot into, and you'd have to make space for him in any Premier League team. You just have to. Vieira, what a boss. If you didn't have him at number 2, I will tell you to check yourself. But 100% agreed. Wow, what a fantastic signing. What a fantastic player he was. Yeah, agreed. Number 2, good choice.
Thank you, my man. We do agree on that. And so far, we've been in agreement over the last 2. I think we've done something unusual. We've praised each other's players to the highest tilt. So good stuff there. Right, we're gonna go into your best transfer ever in your history. There's so many names to choose from. I'm gonna go straight into it. Oh, you've gone Eden Hazard.
Oh yes.
Wow.
Eden Hazard at Chelsea, not at Real Madrid. Eden Hazard at Chelsea. He has to be the most gifted player that Chelsea have ever purchased. Ever. They've got him from Lille. Out of all the players that we've mentioned, the Didiers, the Diddles, the Lampards, and all the fantastic players that have come to Chelsea, he is the only one that has provenly done it. He is the only one who has taken the team by the scruff of the neck and single-handedly won the title. That is the main reason why he is my number 1. When you had Diddles, when you had Super Frank, you have Ashley Coles, all these fantastic players, none of them on their own dragged Chelsea to the title. Toppled with the fact, he is the most exciting player to come through Chelsea's ranks visually on the eye. The way he used to dribble and blast past players. Do you remember that game against Arsenal from his
I've
own
erased
half?
it from my memory.
Bro, I'm bringing it back to you, geezer.
Incredible.
You know what? I haven't seen that. Maybe with Mo Salah a little bit, but Eden Hazard, bar Leo Messi, is the only player that I've seen can do that multiple occasions. The low center of gravity allowed him to propel himself, and bro, he was deceivingly strong, right? He used to barge defenders out of the way. The guy's a little dude. In other countries, no disrespect, he'll be classed as disabled. He was that small. That just shows how strong he was, right? You couple that with the final point. If you're a Chelsea fan, you know, this guy never trained. He hardly trained. That's why you got all these players like Conte. He is the perfect example of love-hate. You love him because you put him on the team. In the main match, he'd win you the game single-handedly. You hate him because the guy never trained. You watch any interview where they talk about Eden Hazard. He's the worst trainer. Mourinho, what can I do? I can't force him. I can't encourage him. I can't make him train. But I have to play him because he's just that good. Name another player like that. I'm sure you'd have to think. You could probably find one. But without the training, without the effort, the guy didn't even really like football. He actually really didn't even like football that much. You know, you got footballers that I love football. They live, they breathe football. It was like Sunday league. The game was easy for him. It was just ultimate easy. He didn't have to prep. He didn't have to do anything. He reminds me, he's the next one to Messi for me in terms of talents. I know that's a big stretch. And if you lot disagree with me, let us know in the comments down below and I'll be happy to shut you down. I'll be more than happy to shut you down. And that's why the greatest transfer in Chelsea's history is, oh my God, the magician himself, Eden Hazard. Number one.
Love Eden Hazard. Even though, yes, you talk about that goal against Arsenal, even though he won titles at Chelsea and he's not an Arsenal player, I love Eden Hazard. He's like a guilty pleasure. I remember an argument between me and one of my Arsenal mates. It wasn't an argument, it's more of a debate. And all of them at the time, before Eden blew up, went Juan Mata over Eden Hazard. And I was like, boys, trust me. This is before they went big. And I think Mata actually started delivering the goods, right? And Eden was like coming up. And I was like, guys, for me, it's not even a contest. Like, Eden Hazard is incredible. He, like you said, single-handedly won you Premier League titles. And I know you've got him second behind Messi. I'll always have, in terms of talent, I've got like Ronaldinho up there at the top. I think I've even got him above Messi in terms of talent. I think for me...
I'll take that back. Ronaldinho. Sorry, yeah.
Eden Hazard is, Eden Hazard has that. He has it. He doesn't need to train. You're absolutely right. He just has it. And he can show up and do what he does. And he was incredible during his time in the Premier League. You picked him up in 2012 for 32 million. That is 32 million. Very, very, very well spent. I'm happy with your top three list, by the way. I want to just give some honourable mentions out there because in 2012, you also bought another player for 7 million. And he went on to be an absolute mainstay in your defence. Cesar Azpilicueta. He was a great signing. Yeah, and we're talking, this is in the Abramovich era. You picked him up for 7 mil. Ricardo Carvalho, less than 20 mil. Michael Essien, less than 25 mil. Kante, you've mentioned, 32 mil. Obviously, you got Makaleli as well. You picked him up from Real Madrid, and he had his best years actually at you. I think the one shock for me, if I can say, is a shock because I think it's really difficult to pick a top three Chelsea, especially because Roman coming in, you had so many flops, but you also had so many hits. The one name that I am surprised that I haven't seen on in your top three, and it's tough, is Petr Cech. For me, yes. But again, how can you argue it? Because it's like, well, you got Drogba, Lampard, and Hazard, so it's very difficult to fit him in. But just an honourable mention to Petr Cech because he was an absolute beast. Chelsea and Arsenal legend Petr Cech. 7 million, you got him.
Let me tell you, yeah, it is hard. It is hard, Geezer, because without Petr Cech, it's also, you can say that maybe Chelsea would not have won what they've won without him. He was he was bro, could you imagine that Chelsea team in 2004 or whatever it was, if we had Robert Sanchez instead?
Yeah, I would have loved it. You'd have won nothing. You'd have won.
And there you go.
Facts.
And there you go. That's why he was on my list, but I'm gonna lose some hair, Geezer. It's hard, man. He'll be in my top 5, isn't it? It is give or take. You can't really. It's all debatable. They're all amazing. Yeah, Petr Cech was absolutely special, and yeah, we could not have won the stuff we did without him. Yeah. Right, come on. Let's go. Let's go.
I think my number one's going to be pretty obvious. I'm going to throw some honourable mentions out there. I'm going to throw some honourable mentions out to Dennis Bergkamp, who's not my number one. 7.5 million, we picked him up from Milan. He sort of changed the way we played football. Ian Wright is just in awe of the guy, right? He saw him at that petrol pump and he saw Dennis, and he's like, Dennis, what are you doing here? He's like, yeah, I've joined Arsenal. Now, Ian was like kid in a sweet shop. You've got the likes of Pires, 6 mil, we picked him up for. You've got Alexis Sanchez, 35 mil. He was a beast at us. I absolutely loved him. We saw his best years for sure. And then obviously we've paid big money for the likes of Declan Rice, who'll go on to do great things, I'm pretty sure. But as you've probably all guessed, my number one is none other than the king himself, Thierry Henry. For me, I just don't see how, as an Arsenal fan, you can really look anywhere else. Most Arsenal fans' favourite player, their guilty pleasure at Arsenal is probably, a lot of them will say Dennis Bergkamp, and I get that, and I love Dennis. But in terms of Premier League transfers and Arsenal transfer history, how can you look beyond Henry? He cost us 11 million, and he went on to completely transform us, as I say, during our most successful period. The only thing is, I would say we should have won more with this team, really, when Henry was there and you had Vieira and Campbell.
That's not his fault. That's not his fault,
No.
Geezer. Bro, as you said, they ripped up the blueprint by Arsene Wenger. He took out all of his demons, all of his monsters, all of his destroyers, and replaced them with tiki-taka. That's not on. And that's why Henry left, Geezer. Yeah?
Yeah.
And you can thank
the only thing
Arsene Wenger for that.
Yeah, but yeah, Wenger sort of moved away from that model in 2004, but we had Henry in 99, and obviously United team were incredible as well. At that period, 2002, 2003, 2004, I feel we should have done more on the European stage. To only get to a quarter-final in 2004, obviously you boys kicked us out. You boys knocked us out, or Wayne Bridge's left foot knocked us out. I would say in that period, we should have had more impact on the European stage. A quarter-final in 2004? No, I know we reached the final in 2006, but that team was done by then, and we only got there because of this man that you're looking at.
That's it.
He is the main man for us. He is, in my opinion, the greatest player we've seen in the Premier League in terms of their peak. And yeah, I can't look at Dennis or Pires or anyone else above this guy. Yep.
No way. They're not,
Thierry.
bro. If there's any Arsenal supporters out there that would not have Thierry Henry as your number one best ever transfer, my professional advice, as a Chelsea fan, is to go to your mum's house, and ask her to slap you in the face as hard as possible for raising you to be an absolute dickhead. Right? You're not fit to be an Arsenal supporter. If there is anyone else apart from Thierry Henry, who is, I don't even think it's debatable now, because you ask the majority of fans on this is who the best ever Premier League player is or was. They all say Thierry Henry. For me, I'm not even an Arsenal supporter. Thierry Henry. He was unbelievable. I don't think there's any other defender that has been more scared of a striker than Thierry Henry. The complete package as a striker. The speed, the strength, the accuracy, the goals. Why did he go to Arsenal? You fool. But wow, I mean, it's undeniable. If he was not your first, bro, this pod will be finished. Yeah, I mean, there's no conversation. There's no debate. He's got to be your number one. What a legend. What a legend. Yeah.
What a legend. You said it. Right, guys, that is our individual best 3 transfers for each of our clubs. Mark's gone with Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard and Eden Hazard. And I've gone for Sol Campbell, Patrick Vieira and Thierry Henry. Guys, do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments what you think about our individual top 3s. Mark, I'll kick it over to you to land the plane.
Appreciate you guys. You're here to the end. Thank you so much. If you want to see more of our content, click this video right here. And we'll see you good people in the next one. Nice guys. Boom.